Good morning, friends out there in YouTube land. This is Tony from Optimized Hardware, and I wanted to touch base on something a little different today. Not really on anything PC or tech related, but we'll touch some things there. This is more about my adventure into my YouTube content creation, the equipment I used, and how I kind of stepped up my production quality the best I could with the budget I had, and I am on a shoestring budget, and I wanted to talk to you about it in some depth. So the first thing I did, I was like, I want to make some videos about PC tech hardware and like motherboards and graphics cards and things that I was passionate about, and I started really getting into gear the more I got into it, but I didn't want to spend a fortune because I'd rather spend it on my computer. So I started out with a 4K webcam, which I kind of overpaid for, and the quality wasn't that terrific. I soon decided that I need to get a better camera. So I did so. What I did was picked up, because I watched a lot of reviews, by the way, this affordable Sony ZV-1F, which is a tiny little vlogging camera made by Sony. It does shoot 4K in 30 frames per second or 24p. It has this little tiny lens on it, which is, it's just an all-in-one basically. And it is rather zoomed out. So if you need to do like, talking head stuff or selfie stuff and walk around with it, you can. It does have image stabilization, but it's not the greatest in the world. I did buy this little $45 wide angle adapter, which does open up the picture quite a bit. This camera was terrific for what I used it for, which is basically what we're doing right now, just sitting and talking to you. I enjoyed it a lot. And then when I started doing some traveling stuff where I was going to micro centers and like Best Buys and kind of checking some stuff out and talking to people, this seemed to be a great asset for me. So I started using it there. I did take a step up and got away from this little Sony cam on the regular for my talking head stuff and kind of sitting at the desk, and went to the Panasonic Lumix G7. I did get it with the kit lens, and I will say I'm very, very satisfied with the camera. It does have some issue with hunting for focus, so the autofocus isn't the greatest. I recommend just using manual focus and locking it in. Sometimes I leave the autofocus on because I'm lazy, but it does have some issues there, so that's something to be aware of. The other thing is you're limited by the lenses you have, so it does come with a decent kit lens. I do like where it's sitting right now. I'm kind of happy with the picture, and you can get wide angle adapters for that as well, and ND filters and all the things. But that's what's nice about the Panasonic, is that it has the ability to change out the lens. It is a micro four thirds. It does shoot 4K. I run it through a capture card as well, and I have a dummy battery, so I don't have to worry about batteries all the time, and it's been great. The other thing I added onto the Panasonic Lumix was this 25mm lens from Panasonic, which is so cheap, and I saw so many good reviews on it, and it's really good for like portrait style shots, or if you want that really blurry background. But if you're sitting at a desk like me in a small room, you're going to have to back this camera way up because it's really going to be zoomed in on your mug, and I don't want to do that because ugh. But it's a great lens for $135. It is almost impossible to beat. I've been very satisfied with this. What I'm going to do is swap this lens out onto the camera and show you the difference of how it looks and how it gives you that kind of cinematic feel. And it would be really good for like interview situations or like talking head videos, but it is going to pull way in. So you're going to see the big difference here, and I'm going to have to back the camera up. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to swap this lens out, and you guys tell me what you think about the differences between this lens and the other, and if it was a good buy. But I think it's a great buy, and I've been very happy with it. So let me swap those out really fast. So here we are on the 25mm lens, and the camera way backed off. Now, I think this picture looks beautiful, and also you can use a lot less lighting in this and really kind of tone it down. It's better in low light situations, and it's really good if you want to take a picture for like a wedding or a portrait or your kid opening a Christmas present or something just pretty with a beautiful blurred out background, and it has some really good depth and it's super crisp. So for $135, I couldn't pass it up. And plus, if you need to have a serious conversation or something for investigative journalism about scummy PC companies, you can do so and kind of have a more serious overtone. I really like this lens for the money, and I've been extremely happy with it. So I'm going to swap back out to my kit lens so I can finish this video. But tell me what you think. This lens, I think, makes a drastic difference in the appearance. Your background's really blurred out, and you get that beautiful look that everybody's looking for. And for the money, it's hard to beat. So it can also get your gear kind of further away from you. So we could pan this out a lot more and still have this clarity and the image beauty. And I think, you know, for the money, it was tough to beat. And there's lenses out there that cost more than the camera for Micro Four Thirds. So for this budget, I was really happy to get this recommendation. I watch a lot of guys on YouTube that said, hey, you gotta have this lens if you have this camera. And I don't regret it whatsoever. But tell me what you think of the image. I think it gives it a totally different look. And swapping back and forth between these lenses, you can kind of change your content to have like a totally different feel. But tell me what you think in the comments. Okay, you can see we're back on the kit lens, and we can see a lot more of the room, and it looks a lot different. So, you know, I actually really enjoy the kit lens with the Panasonic Lumix G7. I think it's a rather good kit lens. I think it's a 14-42, and it's been terrific for what I do for my content. Now, there's lots of other goodies out there that can kind of elevate your game, especially if you're doing traveling stuff or you want to do a lot of B-roll footage, and especially if you don't have a camera that has the best image stabilization. And one of those would be, you know, a decent gimbal. So if you get a decent gimbal and you don't have to go crazy on it, even if you have an iPhone or something, they're really cheap, but you can spend a ton of money on a gimbal. But you know, I got a gimbal that does all the things I need it to. It keeps a really steady shot for anything that I'm doing, and I can take it with me. It's nice because a lot of them have like a selfie mode, so you can turn around and kind of talk to people and have a good steady shot, which is really, really nice to have. And you know, shop around. You can find stuff on sale. I got this whole kit for under $300, and it does come with this AI tracking. So what you can do is put this piece on and kind of command it, and it will follow you whatever you want to do. And of course, it's got like all the normal gimbal stuff. So this is something that can help your content creation grow greatly, and is really decent. So I've been super happy with this gimbal, and it was a good investment and a sound investment for this light little Sony camera. It's perfect for when I'm traveling or vlogging. And I've been super stoked to own this little piece of kit, and I was looking forward to getting one. So I'm very new to all the camera gear, and I didn't want to invest $1 million in all my equipment. I wanted to spend the least amount possible, but have the best image and sound that I could. For sound, you know, I'm on a Shure SM7B. I'm on the Wave XLR. I have a decent set of cans for video editing. I don't like gaming, you know, setups. This is the Philips 9500. They're extremely comfortable. They're very lightweight. They're open back headset, and these things blow any gaming headset that I've ever tried right out of the water. And my Wave XLR powers it perfectly without any problems. I do use a Stream Deck for, you know, just flipping through things if I'm filming something and I want to stop or record or pause or change a scene. But a lot of my stuff, I don't change a lot of scene. I tell the news or whatever tech tidbit I have, or I do top-down build videos. So, you know, my goal with this video is to share my content creation, ways I can improve it, because I'd love to hear in your comments what I could do better, and what you use. I like to talk about, like, you know, what camera setup you have, whether you've got like some crazy expensive Sony or a Blackmagic or whatever you're filming on. But I love to see other people making their content, how it turned out, you know, their lighting, everything they do. So share with me. I want to hear what you've got to say, and I like to start conversations. So let's hear in the comments what stuff that you use, and how you have developed your YouTube over time, what were your humble beginnings, anything we can laugh about and share. But let's talk about all that. And what accessories do you use? What are things that you just can't live without for your YouTube setup, or your streaming setup? If you're a Twitch streamer, or, you know, anywhere else on like TikTok or Kick or whoever, you know, wherever you stream, like, what do you guys use? Do you just use your phone? Do you have, like, you know, a really nice setup? Share your setups with me. I want to hear what you have to say. Well, guys, on that note, I kind of just want to wrap it up. And, I've talked about everything here, like, my very modest lighting that I use, my relatively affordable camera setup, my relatively affordable, minus the microphone, they're a little salty, sound setup. And, what do you guys think? I'm excited to go out to Micro Center on the 30th. I'll be out there. I took the day off of work, and I'm going to try to get myself a graphics card and talk to you guys and talk to, fellow PC enthusiasts. And hopefully we all get a card. So people shopping for a 5080 or 5090, they'll be out on the 30th. I can't wait to meet people out there. Come up, say hi. You'll probably be on the video, and I'll share my experience with buying a graphics card from Micro Center if I get one. I know it's a voucher system this year, so excited to see people out there to go blow a lot of money on a GPU we probably don't need right now. But share your YouTube setups. Tell me what you think. What can I do to improve mine? I'd like to hear your feedback. I'm by no means an expert, so I'm just getting started out in my YouTube adventure. I'd love to grow. If you have any suggestions on what camera I should get next, I'm desperately seeking a 4K camera that is, really versatile and has great autofocus, because I hate the autofocus on my Lumix, but I love you, Lumix. You've been a good camera to me, but I think it's time for me to step up to something else. So give me your suggestions. And as always, have a good day, and we will see you on the next one.